One of my favorite moments of this whole process of making the film Beats, Rhymes, and Life was at the world premiere of the movie at Sundance. You know, I was so nervous, and in the beginning of the movie starts, and the beginning of the movie is kind of tense, and as soon as the opening credits started and Can I Kick It came in, I looked over and I saw this woman and she went, and I just was like, you know, because the music came on and the animation is so magical, it just worked. It really just is so special.
Can I kick it? Can I kick it?
This is James Blagden.
This is Philip Niemeyer.
James Blagden is an illustrator, a director, creator of ideas, a dreamer, an artist.
This is Philip, an animator, artist, musician, visionary, director, father,
Sea captain.
sea captain.
I got introduced to James Blagden through a short film that he did called The Doc Ellis No-No, which is about a pitcher who pitched for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the 70s named Doc Ellis, who pitched a game on acid. And it was a no-hitter, which it's hard enough doing a no-hitter straight, and he pitched a no-hitter on acid. So James did this great short film about him and animated this radio interview where Doc Ellis walks you through this whole extravaganza of a game. And I just got on in the internet and found him and tracked him down and told him I loved the piece, and he was, oh, that's really nice. And then we met, and he said, well, what are you doing? And I told him, well, I was in the middle. We were early in the process of doing the Tribe Called Quest documentary. He was like, I love Tribe. Can I do something here? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, anything, even like the lower thirds or the end credits or just something, I would love to be a part of it. And I was like, cool.
What I wanted to do in my mind was way more lush than the things that I had been working on previously. So I went to Philip. What he was doing was really organic, not using computer animation, using these traditional methods.
It was all about figuring out cheap punk ways to replicate the old style animations where they had cells. The animation is constructed in After Effects of pieces. The Legos are all stop motion Legos. The actual construction is digital, so it allows you to move things around in a non-linear fashion very easily, but we made it as complicated as possible. The integrity of the movement is not changed.
And all the experimenting is done by hand.
By hand, like the movement is all organic movement, almost improvisational movement.
Yeah.
And this movement is never altered in After Effects or anything. The digital movement never happens. The movement's all from the hands, but where these digital places come together, it's almost like sampling, right? They sample these different organic moves. These are different bass lines or drums, but they're moving them around in different modular ways to construct something new. It's very similar to that.
It's so hip hop.
The colors are all analog colors. We're not using like a digital solid. It's an organic color, and more often than not, it's an animated color.
We wanted that black background with colored lines, so a lot of it is inverted. I was drawing on white paper with black lines. This is the box that we kind of moved out of the studio, and this is
all the stuff
the
that's
evidence.
Yeah.
These are the
Storyboards.
They're very simple, and it's not very complicated. We don't go in and show how that's gonna dance. The idea is there.
First he sends me these storyboards, and they were like a rough navigation map of the opening credits, but they were nothing. And I remember the first real detailed drawing he sent me was of Q-Tip, and I was like, this is gonna be cool. And he was like, oh, this is not even finished, it's just a rough drawing. I was like, no, this is good, keep going.
Every kid that's really into music redraws like the logos of their favorite groups or the people in the group or the iconographies of the group, right? And the Tribe Called Quest has such strong iconographies, just like the Rolling Stones' Lips or like the Metallica, Pushead stuff. Their iconography is this like warm kind of these colors and the people and all those things. There's just rife with it. So it was just like their iconography retranslated with the love of an artist's hand.
So these are a bunch of the drawings that were drawn. Okay, I guess this one, what I did was draw the black outline. Then I draw a little bit of pink in there, a light, it go through and do the hard color. So the effect once repeated would look like neon kind of flashing. Just the little details that we were trying to include, just little things that if somebody happened to be from Queens would recognize. The Maranatha Tabernacle is up there. You know, we put our wives' initials and our initials in there in the graffiti. The Zulu Nation.
Oh yeah.
It's in a couple places, but most prominently it's on the front of the BMW. The scene where the car is cruising down Linden Boulevard, it's the BMW symbol.
James Blagden came in and he sprinkled magic on the opening credits and the People's Instinctive Travels, the Low End Theory, and the Midnight Marauder album covers. He actually makes the album covers come to life, and they're breathtaking.
The Low End Theory was a big album for me personally. This color palette has influenced my drawings. The illustration stuff that I was doing before animation.
We had this up on the wall, and every time we had a question, we'd look at this. The one I'm happiest with is the one for the Low End Theory with the girl. We were shooting from up in the air. He'd do a stroke and like make that stroke grow really organically. And we just did 5 or 6 takes of that. So we had 5 or 6 sequences of strokes going boom like that. And so we had 5 stop motion clips of strings going off on different parts of her body. And you make sure it's just boom, 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 boom all over her body. But each one of those booms is James's brush. And that's what I think is the soul of the picture, is the fact that it's all James's brush. Like, James has a lot of love. Everything that an artist does goes through the eye to the heart, out the hand. And so that's what unifies it.
With this project, we just got to do it. We got to go off.
Mike trusted us completely. Like, I never had a situation like where a client was just like, we send him stuff and he was like, yeah, it's awesome, it's off the hook.
Me and my editor Lenny, when we would get these drawings, it would just brighten our day up because they were so colorful and they were so detailed. He sent me a black and white picture of Nuclear Cleaners, and it's so iconic to Tribe Called Quest. It's where they filmed the Check the Rhyme video. Finally, you know, we started getting animated sequences cut together, and I knew it was gonna be great.
What are we looking for? Something to animate? I found the satellites, those are easy to animate. What else can we animate?
Here's 2 frames of a tree.
Boom. And there's also this cool thing.
There's no other drawing of it though.
Oh, there isn't?
I
Okay.
don't know what it is.
Draw something real quick.
I mean, we could animate this. You could just go.
Should we have something go like, you want to do this as a background and then have something in the foreground going, "Croo." We're gonna animate the end of this segment. This is the camera we use to animate the entire movie. It's a Canon 30D. This is the cheapest lens you could use. I'm using this because the lens we used, I broke it by accident. And it goes on top of this thing, which is called a camera holding device in the biz. And you lock it on there so it doesn't fall. And then this is a cable with a thing on the end, and it goes into the camera. And the cool thing about these cameras is they have these little video outs, and you can hook them up to television sets. Make sure there's a card in there. Oh, y'all, I gotta get a card. Just a second. We're gonna do an animation of this, so we'll put this down there. So there we see the street. All right. Okay.
No, that one.
So now we're gonna animate these letters. The good thing is once we're done with this, we're throwing this stuff away. If you want all the assets from the Tribe Called Quest movie, check a dumpster outside of our studio in the next 5 minutes.
Because it's so sensitive to the timing and the movement, when you're on and you get it the first time.
We really are freestyling.
Oh,
So.
it's gonna go here.
Okay.
If you see it and you think, oh, if that just went a little bit slower, because we're doing it all by hand, we have to do it again. We recreate the whole thing.
We've done that like several times. Like slower meaning you need to have more incremental movements between frames, right?
Because you could technically go in and slow it down on the computer, but
It would be wrong. You could watch that and see that it goes, whoa, it's over. And then let's add some explosions that are cool. Whoa. So in the computer, we're gonna layer this thing, going down the street, and then it's like over, it's gonna go on top, and then it's gonna blow up. Oh, it's all fun until someone brings out the explosions.
invert it,
And
and then make that black.
Curve it out, crush the blacks.
Oh, it's coming to life in front of our eyes.
It's the magic of animation. Over.
Booyah! Oh man, we're so pleased. This is where we congratulate each other. Good job.